cooperation, that there's no negotiation, because the case law, the courts have determined, as long as there is negotiation, good faith no negotiation, you have to give time for that. And that's not moving at the speed and pace or pace that the committee prefers. But in this case, we're jumping right to criminal contempt. And what I would say is, like, just about every member that on my side of the aisle has said, we want to talk to anyone who has evidence pertaining to these survivors. Anyone. And if we go down, and I want to hear from the Clintons, if this committee is successful in going down a criminal pathway, we're not going to hear from them. And that defeats the purpose. You get your political points, but it defeats the purpose. And so at the appropriate time, if anyone were refusing to work with this committee, and as we've seen with the affidavits, this does not apply to the Clintons. If anyone refuses to come to this committee without, and just ignores it, then all of us will support the appropriate remedies. But in this case, it's clear that this is a partisan attack to try and score points, as opposed to actually trying to do a real investigation to give the survivors in this case the justice that they deserve. And this committee, this Congress, should be above that. I yield my time to the ranking member if he so chooses.
I'm okay, thank you, Mr. Chair.
I'll recognize myself for a few seconds. Our report lays out that Hillary Clinton had both a personal relationship with Maxwell as well as a financial relationship with Epstein. She's had 5 months as well to come before this committee. We voted in a bipartisan manner to issue her a very lawful subpoena, and she's chosen not to comply with that subpoena. So,
And Pam,
does any other members seek recognition? Mr. Lynch?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay, so we're not seeking information from Secretary Clinton because of her own, look, there's nothing in any of the documents that we've received from either the estate or from the Department of Justice. There's no indication from talking to the witnesses or the witnesses' attorneys that Mrs. Clinton had anything to do with this. And yet, we're trying to issue a criminal contempt charge because of her reluctance to appear. None of those documents, there's no indication that she has anything to do with this. I'm not surprised that she's reluctant to appear. She had nothing to do with this. And if we're seeking the other count, the other basis for our inquiry from the charge and from the resolution is that as in her official capacity as Secretary of State, she may have information regarding sex trafficking in general. But that is not unique to Mrs. Clinton. We could summon the Special Undersecretary for Sex Trafficking at the State Department if we really wanted to find out information of that nature. Or we could summon any other Secretary of State who has served since 2008, I think, when some of this was first uncovered in depth, but it had nothing to do with the Secretary of State. Then it was between Mar-a-Lago and Jeffrey Epstein. It went from young girls being trafficked from Mar-a-Lago to Jeffrey Epstein's estate. And there's no nexus there between Donald Trump's club and the young girls that were trafficked to Jeffrey Epstein. There's no nexus there where the Secretary of State might intervene. So, with all due respect, I think her name was put in there because of the animosity with which the president regards her. And this goes back to, a political race between those two candidates, and has nothing to do with the information that Secretary Clinton might be able to offer. I want to hear from everyone who has information on this. However, we don't have a shred of evidence that Mrs. Clinton has meaningful information to assist this committee. But I know where there is evidence. I know Pam Bondi has had millions and millions and millions of documents that she has refused to surrender to this committee for the past 5 months, 6 months. I know where there's also other evidence. Sitting in a luxury prison, Ghislaine Maxwell, who should be before this committee, should never have been taken out of that original prison by President Trump's personal attorney, and by doing so made her less likely to be willing to offer testimony and evidence to this committee. That is witness tampering. When you take someone who's been convicted of a crime, remove them from uncomfortable settings, put them in a nice place, just keep your mouth shut, honey. That's all. That's what was going on there. We know that. All of a sudden, she gets a sweetheart deal. They're bringing in pets for her. They're giving her the royal treatment now. As long as you keep your mouth shut, honey. That's what they're saying to her. Just keep your mouth shut and don't mention the president. That's the scam that's going on here. That's witness tampering, plain and simple. And yet you have someone who served this country, Secretary of State, elected U.S. Senator, has nothing to do with this, but because it gratifies the president that you dust her up and ruin her reputation. This is beneath what we should be doing. We should strike the motion to summon her before this committee. We should drop this effort to hold her in criminal contempt. I yield back.
And with all due respect, if you didn't want to subpoena Hillary Clinton, the Democrats on the subcommittee should not have voted to subpoena Hillary Clinton.
Mr. Comer, can I clarify that?
Go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I just want to be clear that we have the video. Committee Democrats actually voted no by voice vote.
You had an opportunity for a roll call and you declined it.
We voted.
You called for it, and then staff came to you and you said, let's
Mr.
not do
Comer,
it. Let's not do it.
actually, you weren't there, so I actually don't think
I've
that
watched
you should.
the video too.
Would you like to show the video? I mean, the video is very clear. We actually all voted no. I just want to be clear that in the initial vote, all Democrats voted no. Thank you.
That's why we have recorded votes. And you all declined that. So, does any other member seek recognition? Seeing none. The question is now on the amendment in the nature of a substitute to the Hillary R. Clinton contempt report. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed signify by saying no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the amendment in the nature of substitute to the report is agreed to. The question is now on favorably reporting the Hillary R. Clinton report as amended. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying no.
No.
In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment to the nature of substitute to the report is agreed to.
Recorded vote, sir.
A recorded vote was ordered. As previously announced, further proceedings on the question will be postponed. Pursuant to the previous order, the chair declares the committee in recess subject to the call of the chair. We plan to reconvene at 3:15. 3:15. The committee stands in recess. He's right there. Okay. You ready? Ready? The committee will resume consideration of the amendment in the nature of a substitute of the William J. Clinton contempt report. The question is now on the previously postponed amendment to the amendment in the nature of a substitute offered by Ms. Lee from Pennsylvania. Members will record their votes using the electronic voting system. The clerk will now open the vote on the amendment to the amendment of the report. I'm going to hold this open to make sure everybody's here. Glenn hadn't voted.
Jordan Fox are close.
We're having a little technical difficulty here. I'm going to close it. Dr. Fox, if I don't. What'd you say? Here, has every member's record? I say, Dr. Fox, has every member been recorded who wishes to be recorded? No, sir. Does any member wish to change the vote? The clerk will close the vote and report the vote total.
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 19, the nays are 24.
The noes have it, and the amendment is not agreed to. The question is now on the previously postponed amendment to the amendment in the nature of a substitute offered by Mr. Min from California. Members will record their votes using the electronic voting system. The clerk will now open the vote on the Min amendment to the amendment of the report. Amendment, yep. Have all members been recorded? Does any member wish to change their vote? The clerk will close the vote and report the vote total.
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 19, the nays are 25.
The noes have it, and the amendment is not agreed to. The question is now on the amendment in the nature of a substitute to the William J. Clinton contempt report. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The amendment in the nature of a substitute to the report is agreed to. The question is now on favorably reporting the William J. Clinton contempt report as amended. Members will record their votes using the electronic voting system. The clerk will now open the vote on the William J. Clinton contempt report. Have all members been recorded who wish to be? Okay, we're waiting on one more. Has everybody voted now? Yes. Okay. Does any member wish to change their vote? The clerk will close the vote and report the vote total.
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 34, the nays are 8, with 2 voting present.
Pursuant to this, the ayes have it. Pursuant to this vote, the committee hereby favorably reports and adopts this report recommending that the House of Representatives find William J. Clinton in contempt of Congress for refusal to comply with a subpoena duly issued by this committee. We will move to the report to the full House. Without objection, the motion to consider is laid upon the table.
Mr. Chairman, pursuant to House Rule 9, Clause 2.1, I just ask that members have the requisite 2 days to file with the clerk of the committee supplemental, additional, and minority and dissenting views.
Without
for inclusion.
objection.
Thank you.
Without objection. The question is now on favorably reporting the Hillary R. Clinton contempt report as amended. Members will record their votes using the electronic voting system. The clerk will now open the vote on the Hillary R. Clinton contempt report. Play. Have all members been recorded who wish to be recorded? Does any member wish to change their vote? Seeing none, the clerk will close the vote and report the vote total.
Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 28, the nays are 15, with 1 voting present.
The ayes have it. Pursuant to this vote, the committee hereby favorably reports and adopts this report recommending that the House of Representatives find Hillary R. Clinton in contempt of Congress for refusal to comply with a subpoena duly issued by this committee. We will move the report to the full House. Without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.
Mr. Chairman, pursuant to House Rule 11, Clause 2.1, I just ask that members have the requisite 2 days to file with the clerk of the committee any supplemental, additional, or minority dissenting views for inclusion in the report.
Without objection, so ordered. Pursuant to House Rule 11, Clause 2, committee members shall have the right to file with the clerk of the committee supplemental, additional, minority, and dissenting views within 2 days. Without objection, so ordered. Additionally, the staff is authorized to make necessary technical and conforming changes to the report reported today, subject to the approval of the minority. Without objection, so ordered. If there is no further business before the committee, without objection, the committee stands adjourned.
Should have questions for them. But this is an opportunity for us to answer any questions and concerns you might want to express now that ICE has engaged in their enforcement action, not only in the city of Portland, but it appears in the metro as well. So I want to respond to the fact that our communities feel anxious and fearful. They see this action as unpredictable and a threat to their families. Collectively and individually, we've done everything we can to assure them and that we believe in their right to be safe, and we've tried to direct resources their way to support their capacity to stay here in Portland. From hybrid education the school's offering, food sustenance, and just getting the rights and responsibilities out to all key parties so they know what to do should they engage a federal officer. I want to underscore one important point. While we respect the law, we challenge the need for a paramilitary approach to the enforcement of federal statutes. Federal immigration law is lawful. Its administration and enforcement is lawful. While we may dispute the basis for those laws as individual citizens, the fact remains, it is federal law. What we've been concerned with as a council is the enforcement tactics that ICE has undertaken in other communities, which to our mind appear to threaten and intimidate populations. If they change the way they do their business, then we can focus on doing our responsibility as citizens and changing policy through our elected officials. So this council doesn't stand apart from our immigrant communities, but we stand with them. As a reminder, the Portland Police Department does not involve itself in the enforcement of civil administrative violations under federal immigration statute. As police officers, if there is a call for support having to do with imminent threat to life or serious bodily injury, no matter who the agency or individual is, we will respond as we would to any one of you calling 911. That is our duty in terms of public safety. I'll interrupt for a moment. Councilor Fournier, you can join us up here. So we've received a lot of information from the public that enforcement contacts have occurred in the community, and that has come in the form of text or phone calls or shared videos. So we know they're there. I will remind the public, allow officers to do their work, do not obstruct. The best thing you can do is to be the best possible witness should the facts that come before you are needed by any future investigation or judicial inquiry. All right, if officers are acting with warrant, they are within the law. And this is not the place or the time to challenge that. I want everyone safe. Interrupting law enforcement action is a risk conduct. It may feel appropriate in the moment, but it could lead to outcomes neither party wished upon each other when they began the transaction. So I want to make that clear. I also respect the right to dissent, to protest, to express your misgivings or rejection of current government policy. If all of you decide to do that, our police department has demonstrated an exemplary history in protecting that expression of constitutional right, and we will continue to do so. Before I came out here, someone came in and said, if we did a protest